Fantasy Fiends podcast. I'm your host, Stevie Collier, and I'm here with Andy Peliquin. And today we are honored to have the guest, Richard H. Stevens. We have an awesome topic for you guys today. I'm super excited about it. It's something that I really want to talk about. If you know me, I'm all into holistics and then Eastern medicine, stuff like that. So hopefully that will help with the topic today. But anyway, Andy, Richard, welcome to the podcast. Andy, welcome again.
Thank you for having me back, Stevie.
Yes, it's your pleasure.
For all the people listening or watching, I have to note that finally, after 110 episodes, Stevie has nailed the introduction for the first time.
That was beautiful.
No mistakes. Perfect. Yesterday he did it, and just as he finished, he started like, "I got it right," and then he fucked it up, like just right then as soon as he started crowing.
What did it take, like 110 episodes?
Yeah, 110 episodes for him to finally get the intro right.
Wow. So, that's good.
For Richard, this is a momentous occasion.
It is, yes. I'm glad I can take part in it. Thank you.
Are you crying, Richard?
I am, yes.
Tears of joy. It was beautiful.
So, Richard, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm 54 years old. I'm a fantasy author, obviously. I started writing when I was 9, and when I saw Star Wars, I started writing science fiction, and then I read Sword of Shannara by Terry Brooks and Lord Fellow's Bane by Stephen R. Donaldson. I was hooked on fantasy. And I started writing my first fantasy story when I was 17, when I was listening to Iron Maiden.
Nice.
Let the Hills came on, which has nothing to do with fantasy. It's more about the Native Indians, but for some reason it sparked the Soulforge story in my brain, and I've been writing fantasy ever since.
Very, very cool.
It's also, and you are the writer of the Soulforge saga.
That's correct.
And do you want to tell us a little bit about that real quick?
Yeah, the Soulforge saga is a story about an embittered man. When he was younger, he fought to save the kingdom, and while he was out saving the kingdom from the evil sorcerer, he came back and found his family was murdered, and he just said, "The heck with that! I'm not fighting for you guys anymore. While I'm protecting you guys, no one's looking after mine." So he just became a recluse for about 30 years, and then the kingdom needed him again, and he just refused to come out until an old man came along and convinced him that the need of the kingdom was better than his own. So he came out to save the kingdom. And it's just a quest-driven fantasy about him going out first to get the power back into his sword, so he can go confront the sorcerer.
So it's that classic trope of I feel like some magical wizard is kind of steering him back.
Yeah, well, I don't want to give anything away because that's really the key to the story, and that's a very interesting story in itself. But I don't want to get into that because that's a spoiler. But it definitely goes that way.
No, I understand. And are there dragons in this series?
Well, this is actually a story. There is a dragon that actually comes into it near the end.
Okay.
Of the third book. The story's not about dragons per se. That's where this banner behind me, when I got halfway through Into the Madness, which is book 3, the dragon comes into play, and then I got the whole backstory in my head about what happened to the dragon. So Reeker's Flight, The Legends of the Lurker series was the next series. That's the one I'm working on now, and I guess I didn't even realize that story was there. One day I was having a shower halfway through Into the Madness. I'm trying to think of how am I going to write the next scene, and then I got the Legends of the Lurker series in my head, and I wanted to stop the Soulforge saga and get right into what happened to the dragons.
Are you wearing a shirt right now of it?
Yeah, but this is Wizard of the North. That's book 2.
Oh, that's cool. I need to get some shirts made. Andy's got shirts too.
I used to. I had the Ask Me About the Hunter, but it was the old cover when it was still Blade of the Destroyer.
Yeah.
So I haven't gotten a new and updated design just because I don't know what to do. So I've got to figure out some designs for my t-shirts and stuff. I want to get all that kind of stuff made. I want to get t-shirts, I want to get mugs, I want to get all those cool swaggy things just so I can have them.
Yeah. I got my swag into dragon swag because that's when I go to shows and stuff, they see that cover and they just instantly come over.
Yeah.
Whereas before I had the Soulforge, it looks epic. The cover looks epic, but some people come over, some people wouldn't, but everyone comes over to see the dragon. So
people love the dragon.
They love the dragons. That's for sure. That's where it's at.
Well, Richard, what we do at the beginning of the podcast, and it's become like a little, like not a habit, Andy. What would you call it? Stevie looks like a hippie Jesus who really wants to tell me about eating organic
and vegan and crossfitting. both of those things.
How do you tell if a vegan is around? Don't
How?
worry, they'll let you know. Wow, actually because I got the marrow beads. Actually, this goes well with the topic today. And if you guys want me to explain what these are, it's a Buddhist thing, but I don't use it for Buddhist reasons. I use it for other holistic reasons. But yeah, I actually with Rashan, we came up with this thing where actually Rajin and Rashan, we came up that I was Aragorn Jesus. That's my thing.
Oh, that's cool.
Aragorn Jesus. If I let down my hair, it's Aragorn Jesus. Dude, Andy, how come I can't do that? I want to put up chats about you.
Oh, because you don't have the power like I do. I control everything. But hey, if any chats show up about me, you know I'm gonna put them on.
That's good. It's not a habit, Andy. It's something that we joked around being, and now we just don't tell the guest author about what we do. It's like a rite of passage. That's what it is. Like a rite of passage.
Great.
And it's not that bad. All you got to do is get naked once, and then you're done. You don't have to do it again.
Well, that would certainly knock down the readership or your viewership of your podcast. So maybe we'll do that today.
Or gain some. We don't know. No. What we do is we take something from the past 2 weeks, month that was really cool, and we talk about it. It doesn't have to be book related. It can, whatever it is. Mine yesterday was that my dog got sprayed by a skunk, and thank God it's a lot better now. I still can't give him hugs, but it's better. So now I have to find a new one. Andy, do you have one?
A new something cool that happened? Well,
like within a day.
Yeah, so today I managed to put some more words down on the prequel short story for this anthology, and I'm almost at the 10,000 word mark. I had to message the Michael who was putting it together and say, hey, can I go over 10,000 words? Because I am going to go over 10,000 words. There's no way I can keep it that short. But I've been kicking around the idea for the next project, and I'm getting closer to announcing it.
Is this
it's still
underwater?
It's not underwater. This is above water. But
I know, but I was
tentatively, the project's name is The Shattered Empire. That's as much as I can say right now. But that might be the next project. And what's cool is that it will give a ton of insight into the Serenity. There's going to be magic. There's going to be all kinds of stuff going on that sets up actually a lot of what happens in future Hero of Darkness books. So I'm really excited for it.
Cool.
That's really cool. And I was just, don't spoil it if you don't want to. But are people going to get hurt in this series?
I'm gonna have to think about that.
Think about it. Richard, did you have one already?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, go for it.
I'm in a group of guys around my age that play Dungeons and Dragons, and every time I go there, I show up. I either forget my glasses so I can't see nothing, or I don't have a book. And I just went the other day and picked up this book. So now I can actually not bug everyone else. Can I see your book to see what spell I've got there? And I still have to read the thing, so it doesn't do me any good. But I now have the book, so I'm official.
So
Nice.
I'm sorry, you got your own paperback, is what you're talking about?
No, it's a Dungeons and Dragons Player's Handbook.
Stevie, did you not see that?
No, I was going to check the chat real quick. Oh, that's
right.
awesome. Where
Is that version 5?
That's version 5, yes.
That's 5e. I have that
5e.
one.
There you go.
I don't have a single person to play Dungeons and Dragons with. I gotta
You know
make sure
what,
they're not
Stevie?
in here.
We got to get a game going
You
on.
can play with us.
We
Yeah.
do.
We got to get
Definitely,
an online
man.
game going.
We do.
Well, that would be pretty. Yeah, that's a neat idea.
Yeah, the Roll20 is a cool. Richard, have you heard of Roll20?
I haven't heard a roll. I know what a natural 20 is.
Oh, yeah, it's playing off that. It's like Dungeons and Dragons Online. It's like the best software. It's not a software.
Okay.
I think you can play up.
It's a web-based platform that allows you to roll dice, and everybody else playing with you can see your roll, so you can't cheat.
Right. That's
Yeah.
a good idea.
So it's really cool. Andy and I played together once,
bet
and it
it
was a
is, yeah.
freaking blast.
Yeah, that should be the next addition to the Fantasy Fiends podcast.
Yeah.
Is a D&D campaign.
That would be cool.
It's not a D&D campaign right on here. We'll go down to a simple dungeon.
Yeah. What was I going to say? Oh, my good news would be that so I know a lot of people know that I've been having trouble figuring out what I want to do for the next series. My good news is I have finally come up with an idea for a short story, which I think is going to push me into the right direction. I also know how book 1 is going to start, which is a big deal for me. And then yeah, so that I know it doesn't sound like much, but to me it's a lot. For like a little sneak preview, Ace is gambling and he's hustling. And I'm going, so everybody makes hustling, you know, the charismatic character who hustles and then has to run away. I'm going to make mine a little bit different. So yeah, it's going to be kind of cool. I'm going to try and do it all within 5,000 words. And this is how Ace Whetstone gets a pet monkey, which is for some reason not in the Bizarre Blades.
Definitely not a euphemism.
No, I promise. I swear. Not this time. So anyway, we can now segue. Oh my gosh. I was thinking of shake weight. Shake weight. Do
Which
they
means
still
you
make
were
those?
actually thinking about petting your monkey, Stevie.
Yeah, exactly. The big banana. Let me see. Wait, do they still make shake weights?
Yes.
No.
Yep.
No, they don't.
Yeah, there's
I
still
don't.
a thing.
Where's their website, man?
Google it.
I see Amazon. Anyway, they sure do. They're on Amazon. I love how the main guy on the box is like just ripped. He looks like he's like 220 pounds of pure muscle. Yeah, you'll get that from the shake weight, all right. Anyway, so we're going to segue into this week's topic, which is Andy.
Fight for your dreams. I thought that was a really good topic, and Richard, thank you for bringing that up.
Wonderful idea. Wonderful idea.
This is something that I've been feeling a lot more recently. So last year, around May of last year, the Hero of Darkness series exploded. Like it did way better than I had ever imagined, and everything was just peaches and cream, and I was on a cloud and just living an awesome life of I was Scrooge McDucking it basically. And then over the last year, you know, sales have been steadily getting harder and harder and harder to make. And I've been working harder and harder. And it's like, it's becoming more work to make this dream of being a full-time author real. I'm still a full-time author, so the work is going well, but it's becoming more work. But that doesn't mean the dream is any less important or any more awesome. It's just becoming more important. And I was thinking about it today as I was going over how much I'd spent on ads in the last 3 months. And it was scary how much I'd spent compared to how much I was spending at the same time last year or the same time 2 years ago. I've spent more on ads this month than I made in 6 months in 2016.
Whoa! Congratulations! That's an awesome thing.
It is. It really is. But it's
like
so much has gone into this. You know, it's been years of studying the writing. It's been years of studying marketing and advertising and newsletters. And I'm so far from accomplished or, you know, where I need to be. But you know, getting where I am here has taken so much work, and I'm living the dream in so many ways. But it's not a dream that just I woke up one day and it was there and everything was magical, and it was something that I had to work hard for. It's something that we all have to work hard for, and that is the definition of dreams coming true: is making dreams come true, fighting to make those dreams come true. And so for me, that realization was like, all right, I can have any dream come true. I just got to figure out how to make it work, and I got to work.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. It's up to you to make the dream come true, for sure.
So, and Richard, are you a full-time author, or do you have a side job?
I'm a full-time author. If I was on my own, I probably couldn't support myself.
Yeah.
But my wife supports me. She works at home as well. She's got an online business, so you know, she supports me, and I make a few bucks trying to write. It's slowly coming. It's taken a while. But I need a bigger backlist. I don't have enough backlist yet.
Yeah, that's me too. There's so much that goes into it. And honestly, in my opinion, I would say the story is one of the not the most important parts. It's really getting that book in front of the right reader. I hate saying that but if you don't have a good story, they're not going to stay, and then you lose that customer forever almost. So anyway, this isn't marketing podcast, because I will go on a tangent. Richard, don't you try me. I will go into a tangent.
Most podcasts are me keeping Stevie from going off on tangents. We spend about 45 minutes talking about Stevie going off on tangents, and then this time I went off on a tangent about Stevie going off on tangents. Yes,
that's called tangception.
Tangception.
No, tangception. No,
it's almost football season.
Yeah. So what made you come up with this idea, Richard?
Which idea is that?
The fight for your dreams idea.
Yes.
But no, Rika's flight, the Legends of Lurker is all based on Rika, who's the book starts out when she's 6 years old, and she's sitting on the side of a hill overlooking the ocean with her grandfather. And she's a little girl, so she sees a butterfly flying. She goes, "Can I fly as high as a butterfly?" And the grandfather doesn't want to spoil her dream, so he says, "Sure you can." And she says, "Can I fly as high as a bird?" And he said, "Sure you can." And then she says, "Can I fly as high as a dragon?" And of course, grandfather gets freaked out and he gets her off the hill because he can't see the dragon, but she claims there's one over by this one mountain. So anyway, it's all about her wanting to fly. So she's dreaming of flying, and her grandfather encouraged her to follow her dreams. Doesn't matter how absurd or ridiculous everyone else might think it is. And the grandmother, of course, when she hears this, freaks out on Grandpa and tells him, "Don't fill her head with all this BS." And anyway, the story is the dragons mate every 3 years, and when they mate, they're very dangerous because they're protecting their young. So there's the village forms a dragon hunt, and they go out and they try and kill all the baby dragons. And Rika's brought up to hunt dragons, but when she reaches her 21st birthday, she has an epiphany when she meets a baby dragon, and she forms a special bond with him and realizes that what they're doing is wrong, and what the king is doing wrong. So she sets out. She changes her mind. Now she wants to help the dragon cause, and I don't want to give the whole story away, but she starts defying the king, and then the king wants to kill her as well. And the whole thing is about her following the dream of flying the dragon. And
I can relate to the story because I only mate once every 3 years. The best 20 seconds of my life. Yeah. I've got to admit, though, when you were telling that story, I thought it was a real one. So I thought you were talking about your granddaughter or something.
Oh, no.
And I was already afraid that the ending was going to be that she jumped off a cliff or something.
Stevie.
That's what I was thinking, man.
Well,
maybe I need to go back to
spoilers out there, so I won't say that.
Oh, man. And when you got to the dragon part, I was like, oh, Stevie, you idiot. Come on. Wake up, Stevie. Wake up.
But you don't have dragons down there? We have dragons up here in Canada.
I don't know if you're joking or not.
No,
Andy knows I'm gullible.
We have dragons.
Dragons?
Oh, yeah.
Dragons. I don't know if you ever... Do they say this where you are, Richard? Dragons?
Dragons.
Okay, yeah. No, so here they say like bag is bag and dragons is dragons.
No, we don't have the accent over here.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's a
Is that lazier? Is it lazier sounding?
It's just the way they pronounce it. It's bag, dragons. It's sort of like progress and project. It's just how they say it here. Dude, and it drives me nuts because they say at the supermarket, "Do you want a bag?" And it's like, I don't want a bag. I've come here. I have money to pay for my groceries.
I don't know if anyone who's watching has watched Yu-Gi-Oh, but it sounds like Joey Wheeler from Yu-Gi-Oh, the anime. Red Eyes Blink Dragon. But if anyone's in the comments knows what I'm talking about, let me know. But I think that would drive me nuts. I wonder if I can pick up on an accent better than other people because I love language learning, or if I'm just tooting my own horn. I think I'm tooting my own horn, but I look for it. I think. Thanks, Andy, for making me look like a total idiot.
I was not paying attention, to be perfect.
Oh, okay. Yeah, when my lips are flapping, his mind is napping. Canadian dragons.
Canadian dragons brew syrup and polite phrases rather than fire. Hey.
Dude,
they do, eh?
And they say sorry a lot. Sorry. How do I say sorry?
The one thing that they say here, it's not it's hey. Like, oh wow, it's really hot today, hey. Like they tack it on at the end. Like they turn everything into a question. Oh wow, this is really beautiful, hey. This food is delicious, hey. It's like
I think that would get on my nerves.
I think that's yeah, we're A over here. We can't afford the H.
So when people talk about Canada, does it bother you, Richard, when they say like, oh, they're so polite, they're so nice?
Oh, not at all.
No, those are good stigmas to have. Those are good.
Sure,
yeah, it's like I don't know. So anyway, I'll bring us back to the topic this time. Fight for your dreams. Where to begin? Oh, I did promise I was going to talk about the marrow beads. Andy, do I have time? Just like a minute.
Sure. Use that tangent wisely, Steve.
One time. So the marrow beads, you start here, or you can start. There used to be a nice little tassel here, but monkey or cat got to it and ruined it, but you say an affirmation for each one and you go all the way around. And you know what? It takes way longer than you think. So being I don't like to say new age. Anyway, that's what I do. I love these things. And this is pure tiger's eye, which is for abundance and financial prosperity. And I just like wearing it. I think it looks cool too. So that's what the marrow beads were. So the whole fight for your dreams thing is really special to me, I think. But I think every time I try and talk about fighting for your dreams, people say, I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth, and that's the reason why I was born and raised with this idea that I could be something more, which to a degree I understand, because it would have been the stars aligned, better for me. But hopefully just by me being around, I could persuade other people who didn't have my upbringing to fight for their dreams. Does that make sense?
So you've never had to fight for your dreams, Steve?
No. The idea of fighting for your dreams instead of giving up and not doing anything. I'm not going to name any names, but we had to let somebody go in the business. And I thought he had gotten a better job, actually. I'd heard rumors that he got a better job. I'm like, thank God he got a good job. And I heard he wasn't around people a lot. So like, oh, that's even better. Not talking crap about him. He's just a solo guy. And turns out he had a savings, and he quote, I don't want to work anymore. Gonna live off the reserve until I need a job. And that is the opposite, in my opinion, of fighting for your dreams. And this guy has logged over 20,000 hours of Grand Theft Auto. Yeah, every 3 years. I get that 20 seconds, man.
So he left work, and now he's
we let him go, and I forgot the reason why. But yeah, now he's either playing video games or I don't know. So when I walk out of our place of business and I look to the right, he's like 2 houses down. So his car is always there. So I know it's true. And so this was the kind of guy. Have you ever had these people where you're like, eat healthier, and then you give them this whole spiel on how to eat better, or hey, you got to check out this audiobook, man, it'll change your life, and you tell them all about it and they're actually interested. Yeah, I'm gonna try it. And then the next day they're eating McDonald's, or they didn't even want to read the book, or it's just a waste of time. And I can't tell you how many times, because as a personal trainer I knew a lot on nutrition and would give it to this guy, but they just don't want to fight for it. They don't want to strive. And one last thing, and I'll end my tangent, and that is something my grandma said, actually, and she didn't even know it, but she was kind of quoting Earl Nightingale, and that is, don't pity the people who are doing jobs that you think are menial to you, or they're not chasing their dreams, because you need them and God bless them. So it's kind of an interesting idea. People who don't chase their dreams, we need them, kind of, who's driving the truck with bread? I don't know. Just an interesting idea. Am I on the topic of fighting for your dreams? Am I speaking about the right thing here?
Oh, yeah, I think you nailed it. Yeah.
Good. I thought I was just talking about like because I am a self-help book junkie. Like that's all I listen to is nonfiction, self-development. So, but big law of attraction guy. So when did you write your first book, Richard? Was that fighting for your dreams?
No, I was just thinking about that when you're going talking about bread there. I started writing when I was 9, and of course I'm a little bit older than you guys. So as an author, the only way you could ever get published is through Dell or Ballantine or whatever those big publishers are. And you need an agent, and those, it's impossible. It just seems like an impossible dream. It just seems so intimidating and daunting as just a regular Joe Slob. I had 5 kids and 2 careers, and my writing kept getting put on the shelf. But
5 kids?
Yeah, not a couple different wives, but. We have 5 kids between us, and I had 2 different careers. But about 4 years ago, I started working with the Waterloo Regional Police Service, and I was at a call at one house, and I was checking at who I was going to see inside the house, whether they're big and mean or they got warrants or whatever. But this lady, just as a lady who had a traffic ticket, I go talk to her, and so I realized that she was 71, and I'm thinking to myself, that's going to be me in about 20 years, and I wasn't enjoying what I was doing. There's so much stress in that job. And I think, what am I going to be doing in 20 years? And looking back and thinking, why didn't I do it? Because we don't get a dress rehearsal, right? You don't get to do this once and say, okay, I screwed that up. This time I'm going to do it next time I enjoy my life. So I figured that's it. So I quit my job in the police service, and luckily my wife had a decent enough job at home to support me, and I followed my dream, and that was to actually become an author. So I started writing Soulforge when I was 17, and I didn't publish it until I was 53.
Well, you started it when?
When I was 17.
Oh, that's an awesome story.
So, I don't know if I fought for my dreams, but I certainly realized my dreams by realizing that, this isn't a dress rehearsal. We only get to do this once. So
quitting your job, it seems like a pretty risky thing
was a drastic
to
step. It wasn't taken lightly. And,
that's jumping into the water right there.
Come back and do this again. So let's do it now and let the chips fall where they may. So.
And your wife has, I'm sorry, Andy, were you going to say something?
No, go ahead.
Your wife has this online business. Is that like her passion?
Yeah, she used to work for a nonprofit organization as a CEO's assistant, and she got enough skills that she could help out other authors. She doesn't help authors right now. She helps me, but she works with speakers. So speakers don't have a brick and mortar building. So she's their staff. So she manages their calendars and bookings and everything else. So
okay, cool.
So she's found a niche there online, and now we can both work from home. It's great.
Yeah, and y'all get to stay together.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds.
I didn't have to put up with me every day, but.
Yeah, I would love to get their girlfriend to be able to do something like that.
So my dream is to start making enough money that she can actually stop what she's doing and then just support me, and then she doesn't have to worry about the pressures of trying to please other people. So that's the dream we're following now.
Yeah, man, awesome.
That'd be cool.
What were we gonna say, Andy?
I was gonna say, the other side of this, we're talking about fighting for your dreams, and a lot of us sort of go into this. I know that when I went into it, I was thinking, all right, I'm going to be fairly successful in a couple of years at the most. I'm going to be doing great. I wish someone had told me otherwise. There was a lot less sort of information available back when I started out in 2013. Now I know better. But a lot of people are like, if you don't succeed with your first series, if you don't succeed in the first year, if you don't start making money right away, you've somehow failed. And dreams don't get accomplished overnight. Dreams don't, get accomplished even in a couple of years. Like if you think about all the businesses that go under in their first year, and then in their second year, and then in their fifth year, by year 5, I think it's something like 95% of businesses have failed or have gone bankrupt. And that's a harsh realization. So taking it from that standpoint of, okay, as an author, I told my wife, I've got 10 years to make this work. If I can't make this in 10 years, if I can't figure it out, then I'm going to have to stop, because 10 years is too long to fail at something over and over. But it's like, once you start making it work, then you start getting inspired and you keep trying and all of that. But it takes time for things to start rolling. There are some people who have had amazing success off the bat, but I have never considered myself one of those people who are the exception to the rule. Mm-hmm. On the contrary, I figure I am right in the middle of the pack any way you cut it. So if I'm going to succeed, it's never going to be because my writing is so superior to everybody else's. It's never going to be because everything that I do is so much better, so much smarter. It's going to be because I worked very hard to do everything as right as I can. And sort of going into it with this mentality is how I was like, okay, massive success last year. Things are going a bit slower this year. I'm not freaking out. I mean, I am freaking out a little bit, but that's all inside. These are the inside thoughts. But
what are you freaking out about? I'm sorry.
That sales have halved this year.
Oh, okay.
How they were last year, or even lower.
Yeah.
But because it's not like I expected massive success right off the bat. I didn't expect to be, this breakout person who just, wrote the best book in the world, or wrote something, on par with all of the greatest fantasy novels. And when it doesn't happen, I always expected my writing to sort of be right there in the middle of the pack. I will never be the next Brandon Sanderson. I will definitely never be, what's the guy, Chuck Tingle, or whatever he is, the guy who writes all those shitty erotica novels. Like, I'm never going to be either of those extremes. I'm always going to be the guy who works really hard, who always does his best, and he's always going to be, sort of in the middle of the pack. And I'm okay with that, because going into it with that realization, I work my ass off, and then if I go a little bit higher than the middle of the pack and I start doing better and I start becoming, like people know me, they start liking my stuff, then it means I'm succeeding. I've gone higher than the bar that I set myself,
I'm like squirming in my chair because I just want to talk so bad.
Talk.
Just before you go on a rant there,
thank you, Richard. He knows me so well already.
It reminded me that I've sold this to other people too, that the world has J.K. Rowling, they have Stephen King, they have Brandon Sanderson. We don't need another one, right?
Yeah.
We already got one. So we need Andy Peliquin, we need Stevie Collier. So
yeah, no, my thing was like,
we need you, we don't need them.
My thing was like, it's this fairly modern thing of like, be the best you can be, go for it. If you're not doing the best, you're not living your best life. Like there's this overwhelming push, this peer pressure from society to be exceptional, to be extreme, to stand out, to be so much more amazing than everybody else.
The only one you can be better than, Andy, is yourself.
Exactly. So it's all about that. It's like, it's not about being ahead of the pack, being in that top 1% of authors that everybody's like, oh my God, this book is. What's that?
I say it'd be sweet for sure, but that's not.
Yeah, exactly. So going into it knowing that I'm going to be, sort of in maybe that middle 35%, or maybe in the top 25%, or, going into it with that expectation, I'm not disappointed when I don't have overnight success, and I'm thrilled when things go really well. So it's sort of this desire to be perfect that is imposed upon us by society. You see all these memes, all these stupid hashtags, living your best life, all of that. It's like you stop putting these expectations on yourself, fight your ass off to get these dreams, but then have realistic expectations of who you are, what you can do, what you're actually going to achieve. And then you won't be crushed when you don't become an overnight bestseller. Mm-hmm. And it'll be amazing when you see far more success than you anticipated.
Dude, that was awesome. That was great.
My short little rant.
No, it was beautiful. I got a tear to my eye. The only thing I was going to add is, I was actually studying anabolic steroids for fun. God, my hair looks like I just had like a chicken on top. Yeah, for fun. Dude, I hate needles so much. You have to stick that thing in your butt. Not up the hole, but like on the cheek. Dude, talk about torture. No, but you have to and then you have to explain to your loved one, oh, it's just steroids. It's just impossible for me to take anabolic steroids, but it's fascinating, right? But I could talk about anabolic steroids for another 20 minutes. But what I wanted to say is this guy said, when you're taking anabolic steroids, don't take it too fast, because you want to win your next competition. You want to get your pro card. You want to be this big deal. It's not going to happen that way. And you reminded me of what he said. And that is, when you go to that competition, don't even believe you're going to get first place. Go there to get the bearings straight and to figure things out and to work your ass off. And then one day you will get your pro card and your number one trophy. And I really like that. I believe it to about 90%, but I do believe in as that's my law of attraction side. The one thing I study probably the most, and is a major theme in all my books, is that I always look at the end result, and I dream massively, like so big. Like right now in my mind, whenever I go to sleep, I dream of a huge house in Austin off of Lake Travis with an actual castle. Those like cylindrical castles with the steeple. Like I want one of those on there, and I think that would be my office overlooking the water. That's what I think about, and honestly, it gets me up in the morning. Andy knows I've been hard pressed for ideas for the past few weeks, which is weird for me. I had a lot of stuff going on in my life that Andy knows about. It was tough. Oh God, it's been tough. This is probably the hardest month one of the hardest months of my life. But it's that dream in my head when I go to sleep and when I wake up, and it's my 20-minute meditations I try to do twice a day that just keep me going. But to a degree, like Andy, I don't believe I'm going to become J.K. Rowling overnight. Do I believe it's possible? Yes, I do. But I love the saying, people went up to Rolling Stones and like, oh, how's it like having your overnight success? Like, oh yeah, our 6-year one night success was awesome. It wasn't
Yeah.
Rolling Stones, but I love that idea where you have your one night, your overnight success costed years.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's this preparation, it's hard work, it's planning, it's all of that. And of course, there's a ton of luck. And then you put it all together and it works. No matter, what that's like, that is the success of literally everybody. No matter who it is, there is a massive amount of luck, but it's all of the other things that put you in the right place to do it. And so when I was a believer in Christianity, when I was faith driven, I would pray for things really hard and not actually do anything about it. And then I'd be like, "What? Why isn't it happening?" And it was kind of like, the version of Christianity that I was taught was, it's all by faith. Works are bad. And a lot of people, like, let's say, salvation by grace is this concept that faith is all you have to have and you're saved from eternal damnation. For other people, it's works. You gotta do your penance, you gotta do your charity, all of that. But it's only when you combine the two, I feel, that you get sort of a realistic expectation of, whatever the faith is, but then also for reality. You can make your dreams come true. You can have the faith, like Stevie says, he can dream big, but if he never puts in the work, he's never going to get the dreams. So it's that combination of faith and works that really makes everything happen.
I got chills, dude.
I'm not
I
a
love
big
it.
believer in luck. I believe you make your own luck. So, there's
Oh,
the
yeah.
Canadian Justin Bieber. He did a couple of YouTube videos, and all of a sudden he's the king of the world. But that's not the realism for 7 billion people in the world. That's just the couple. So the rest of us, I don't believe in luck. You make your own luck. So, like you say, Andy, if you don't put the work into it, you're not going to get it. So,
God, I haven't thought about Justin Bieber in probably a year.
he actually lives about 15 minutes from my front door.
Right now?
Great big. It's like a castle. He's got this great big mansion on a lake.
Wait,
Not
right
as big as
now?
the lake you're mentioning, but it's just up here in Cambridge. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Cool.
I'll say hi to him for you when I see him next. Yeah.
Well, you've actually seen him?
No. He wouldn't schmooze with someone like me. I'm just kidding.
Get his autograph for me, Richard.
Oh, you know how many people would love that? My daughter would love that. She'd go crazy.
How old's your daughter?
20.
20. Okay.
That's
Yeah.
young.
She was right around the time of Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
Hannah Montana time, probably, right?
Oh, that's my other daughter. Yeah.
Those two. Wow. They came out around the same time, Jonas Brothers. Anyway. It's weird. I haven't thought about that guy in so long.
Yeah. Sorry to bring him up.
No. Yeah, right. Wasn't it like we're trying to push Justin Bieber back into Canada and you guys wouldn't accept him back or something?
Yeah.
There was that big signing to like get him back into Canada or whatever.
Yeah, I don't mind him. I don't begrudge him his fame. He did it. So, good
I
for him.
don't. Yeah, I'm the same. I don't like putting down people's success no matter what they do. I'm just like, good for you. I'm looking for my own prosperity.
I'm happy he could do it. I'm just going to find a way to do it ourselves now.
Did we get a reading? Because I cannot find the damn reading.
We did. Stevie,
I can't find it. I hate having to tell you this, but I cannot find the damn reading.
Let me see.
I honestly.
Let's see if this works, Stevie.
Oh, was it in the email?
It was in the email, like every other reading that we get.
I mean, did he type it?
No, he attached it in a document. I just sent it to you in the private chat.
Okay, thank you very much. The private chat. The private chat. Okay, thank you so much. I just wanted to be prepared. This is very prepared.
I think they're both voices you got in there too. So
yeah, Andy, can you message it to me through email because it won't let me get into it?
Sure.
Yeah, I know. I hate doing this during podcast time, but anyway, I could go on about that, my preparedness, but yeah, life has really been giving it to me, just like boom, boom, boom. I haven't been home. I've barely talked to Lisa. And so talk about fighting for your dreams. This is the fight, guys. This is the fight. Waking up early, going to bed late, not doing a single thing that I wanted to do. Not a thing. Not Pokemon, not anime, not reading a book. Nothing. And that's because I'm just working, And I love what I do. But still, you wish you could sit down and rest. And I'm all about that grind. So, and when life is just punching me, like tomorrow, I got to be up at 6 because my grandma's getting, if you follow me on Facebook, she's getting her cancer removed. Hopefully, pray to God it works. But it's just part of it, Part of life. That's fighting for that dream right there. And I know it's not just me. We all have it. We all have our things, right, Richard?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. We all have it. It's ironic that we get this. I'm actually feeling pumped right now. That's a 50 DPK minus TV. Do we want to get to the reading now?
Yes, let's do it.
Oh, if we don't do it now, first of all, I got to say, guys, we're at 490 subscribers. Thank you all so much. I love how much this podcast has grown. Fantasy podcasts are really hard to grow on YouTube. Andy and I were just starting it for fun. It's awesome at 490. Let's get to 500. And Andy, we have to do something for 500. What is it? I forgot.
We did not say what it is.
Oh, we got to figure that out.
But I'm pretty
not
sure
cutting off
everyone's
my hair.
gonna want. Yeah, I was gonna say
I'm
pretty
not
much
doing
everyone's
it.
gonna want you to cut your hair, Stevie.
Honestly, and I swear to God, literally, when I have a nightmare, it usually involves someone cutting my hair. It usually involves someone cutting my hair. Instead of killing me, it's cutting my hair off. And it's because I've wanted this for years, and I finally got it. Because I was with that girl who wouldn't let me get long hair because she said it was ugly. That was the first thing I did. Where'd you go?
So Stevie, this is the suggestion for and then there's this one.
Yes. Okay. I'll do those.
Why? What have I done? What have you guys? Why do you hate me so much, guys?
I'll do that. I love how it was all nudity based. Okay, but before Speedo, I'm gonna lose body fat first. Before the Speedo, I'm gonna lose body fat first.
All right.
That's
did you get the reading yet, Stevie?
I don't know. I was so excited about naked on a podcast. I couldn't withstand myself.
How can you be any more naked already? Like, you are at the bare minimum of clothed.
You know what? I actually realized that how naked I am when I go into a Walmart in the rural parts of Texas. It's like I'm a witch or something and they want to burn me. And old people, they will tell you about it. I'm talking like these 65, 70 plus people are still working. I don't know how. Have you seen them at Walmart? They have the oxygen tanks.
Yeah.
How is that possible? Talk about fighting for the dream. That's a fight right there. Fight to scan that product. Whoa, that was low. I apologize, guys. That was low. I'm sorry.
All right. So get the reading open, Stevie.
I got it.
All right.
I got it.
So, Richard, you are the director. So do you want to read the narrator or do you want to do one of the voices and have one of us narrate?
Oh, I apologize. Now I got to get open.
Oh,
I thought
Richard.
Thank
you for making me look good.
No, I know where it is. So we're reading Rika's. That's Rika's flight that you got there?
What is
from the chapter entitled Inferno?
Inferno. That's Rika's flight. Yep.
What is the floral bonnet challenge?
I don't know, but it may be that you have to wear a floral bonnet.
I hope it has nothing to do with never mind.
Okay, Inferno, where are you? Okay, I got it.
All right.
And Anita has really nice hair. Have you guys noticed that? She's got really nice curly hair. That sounded really creepy, but anyway. I'm ready when you guys are. So we have Raver, Grimelda, and Rika.
Well, Raver's just a raven. He's just a bird. He once in a while he says his 2 bits, but he
I called the raven.
Damn it. I wanted to do the raven and the witch.
Can you do a raven sound?
No.
Actually, I wanted a pet raven, but that's neither here nor there. Nevermore. Okay. I'm taking caffeine right now. That's why I'm...
All right. So Stevie, why don't you do the girl's voice, the
cool.
Rika. Richard, are you cool doing the narrator?
Sure.
All right. Take it away. And I will be
here. That's you. You're Rika.
All right.
You got the hair too. You get the braid in the side there.
Oh, thank you, Richard.
So you want me to go?
Yes.
Take it away.
Okay. This chapter's called Inferno. After her encounter with Jonas and his men on Peril's Peak, Rika was too ashamed to show her face in Fishmonger Bay. The days and weeks following her ill-fated attempt to join the hunt filled her with dread. Nightmares of the Husky man catching her alone in the cabin, doing unspeakable things, plagued her restless nights. She slept with the fine bow Grimelda had given her, the door barricaded with heavy furniture, and the windows covered with Grammy's quilted comforters. During the day, she set wooden targets in the trees around the outside of the hut to improve her dismal archery skills in case the man showed his face. Now, can you hear everything fine?
I can hear just fine.
She spent most of her time hunting for errant arrows. I've got the wrong mouse here. There we go. Weeks passed before she contemplated the swords again, but as she hacked away at a tree stump, she attacked it with renewed determination, swinging and hopping about for hours on end. It was no substitute for the real thing, but she trusted no one, except Great Aunt Grimelda. Unfortunately, the crone wouldn't be much of a sparring partner. It took her most of the summer before she dared to set foot in Fishmonger Bay again. When she did, it was under the cover of darkness. Sneaking around the backside of buildings, she slipped onto the lavender porch of Grimelda's clutch. She paused behind the nearest dragon statue and scanned her surroundings in the poor light of the new moon. Nothing stirred. She inhaled deeply and tiptoed to the stained glass door. Finding it locked, she rapped on the lower section, all the while glancing around, fearing the noise her knock had made. Grimelda didn't answer fast enough, so she rapped a second time, louder than the first. She was about to sneak off into the night and return to her hut, but a flickering light from within cast the porch in a rainbow of color through the stained glass. The glow approached the door, and the magical locking mechanisms withdrew, allowing the door to swing inward. Grimelda's haggard face appeared scared in the dim light of her handheld sconce. Wearing a dirty white apron splattered with dark stains, she leaned on her gnarled walking stick, squinting, perched on her shoulder.
Gracious, my dear.
This is Grimelda.
What took you so long?
Raver bobbed his head up and down as if he shared Grimelda's worry. Rika blinked. What took her so long? She searched the darkness of the town center before pushing past her great aunt into the mystic shop.
I'm afraid, Auntie Grim.
That's not bad. Grimelda closed the door and waved her hand. So when we actually cast for this, I'll get Peter Jackson to give you a shout.
Thanks, man.
I always get those two mixed up.
I'll dye my hair blonde.
Yeah, there you go. Actually, I think your hair's the same color as hers. So Grimelda closed the door and waved her hand, triggering the locks. She made a clucking noise with her tongue, placed a hand to the small Rika's back, and pushed her down the aisle.
Oh, do come in, dearie. I've been expecting you.
Come in, dearie. Come in, dearie.
There you go. You're Raven. Yeah, you can be the Raven. Grimelda's words unsettled her, but the Raven made her smile. Something she hadn't done in a long time. It felt good to be in the company of another person, someone who wouldn't pass judgment on her.
You were expecting me? How did you know I was coming?
Grimelda cackled and shuffled behind the counter. I can put your blanket aside for Rika to enter.
Auntie knows everything.
She placed the sconce on a crude knee-high table and searched the shelf behind it.
Ah, what do you know? Here it is. I searched for this all day.
All day, all day.
That's awesome.
Shoo, you dirty bird.
Grimelda shrugged her shoulder and winged Raver to a high shelf. And Raver winged to a high shelf near the curving cellar staircase. Rika looked over Grimelda's shoulder. The witch held a small vial in her wrinkled hand, a greenish liquid kept inside by a blackened cork.
What is it, Auntie?
Grimelda clucked her tongue and held up a crooked finger.
A curious one, eh? You shall see soon enough. Take this and follow me.
Grimelda handed her a gray stick.
Is this
Yes, dearie, something to write with.
Grimelda dropped the vial into an apron pocket and plucked the sconce from the table. Hobbling to the back of the room, she descended to the twisting stairwell to the damp cellar below. Torches burned in racks around the perimeter of a small cavern, a sacrificial altar surrounded by wrought iron candelabras. Stepping off the bottom step, it appeared Rika had interrupted some kind of ritual. The fount at the head of the altar contained a crimson liquid, very much resembling... She swallowed, her gaze falling on the dark stains on Grimelda's apron. Her jubilation at sharing someone else's company forgotten. She approached the fount.
Is that what I think it is?
Eh, dearie?
Grimelda shuffled off to one side, rummaging through an assortment of stone bowls. Finding the one she sought, she said,
Oh, don't touch that.
Rika pulled her hand back. Grimelda hobbled past her with a small ladle. She scooped 3 precise measures of the crimson liquid into the stone bowl, careful not to spill a drop. Setting the bowl on the altar, she pulled the green vial from her apron pocket and removed the stopper with her teeth. The cork between her lips, she tilted the small bottle and dispensed 1, then 2, and finally 3 drops into the bowl.
Look closely, my dear child, but do not touch.
Rika bent over, inspecting what she suspected was blood. She shuddered. Where did it all come from? She was about to ask, but something pulled on the top of her head, stopping her.
Ow!
Grimelda held a few strands of hair between her thumb and forefinger.
What did you do that for?
Ignoring her, the crone inspected the hairs and selected 3, dropping them one by one into the bowl. Without hesitation, she reached up and pulled a few of her own gray strands, depositing 3 of them into the dark liquid one at a time. Rika backed away. She'd come at a bad time. The sudden appearance of Raver flapping down the stairwell made her jump. The raven landed on the rim of the fount and stood blinking at Grimelda as if she had been summoned. Grimelda selected a small knife from beneath the folds of the utensil table on the far side of the altar and leaned her walking stick against a marble slab.
Oh.
We need Grimelda.
Where? Sorry. I got a little lost. Oh, Raver, to me! Sorry about that.
That's okay. Raver squawked, there you go, I didn't have to say it, and landed on the altar. In a flurry too fast for Rika to comprehend, Grimelda's hand closed on the bird and held him against the marble slab, deftly severing the 2 side toes of his left foot close to his leg. Raver screeched. We need a screech. And pecked her hand, drawing blood, but Grimelda let go until she severed a side toe from his right foot, all 3 toes lying on the altar. Raver flew erratically into a shelf beside the stairs and dropped to the ground. He fell to one side, making an awful noise. Flapping furiously, he righted himself and disappeared up the steps. Rika couldn't believe what had just transpired. The old lady was stark raving mad. She wanted to go after the injured bird, but Grimelda's grim face held her.
Auntie Grim, what are you doing?
Trust me, child, that hurt me more than it did my little chum.
Rika's mind reeled. What a nice way to treat your little chum. There was no way your aunt's guilt was more painful than Raver losing 3 toes.
Before I go, I must ask a boon of you.
This would be Grimelda, sorry.
Oh,
sorry.
I go, I must ask a boon of you.
Rika's brow furrowed, unable to take her eyes off the toes, an offending knife still clutching Grimelda's hand. Where did the crazy witch think she was going?
Are you familiar with Dragon Fang Pass?
Rika had traveled as far as the Fang, a towering rock formation at the head of the pass, but had never ventured far into the dragon-infested valley itself. She wasn't sure she wished to entertain Grimelda's question. The image of a knife severing Raver's toes wouldn't leave her.
North of here, deep within the pass, is an old temple built centuries ago by the first Windwalkers.
Grimelda put the knife on. I want to keep hearing you speak.
I know.
Grimelda put the knife on the utensil table, grabbed her stick, and hobbled to confront Rika.
Do you hear me, child?
The intensity in the witch's bloodshot gaze made Rika's breath catch. She nodded out of fear.
Good, because this is important. When I'm gone, you'll be the only one left on this side of the Great Kingdom capable of saving the dragons.
Saving the dragons?
Rika was incredulous.
I can't swing a sword to save my life. Save myself. How do you expect me to face a dragon? I wouldn't survive its first breath.
Grimelda held up a hand.
Shh, child, listen. You must save the dragons, not fight them.
Then why did you give me great-grandmother's weapons?
To protect you from everyone else.
I don't understand.
Grimelda gave her a patient smile.
I wish I could train you in the ways of the Windwalker, but my time is at hand.
Rika gaped. Where was her aunt going? Grimelda wagged a crooked finger.
I'm out of time. You must go to the Dragon Temple.
She raised an eyebrow.
I, guarded by a beast, old enough to have seen the mountains formed. Locate the Earth Schism to claim your heritage. Remove the Dragon's Eye from the Watcher and bring it back here.
Dragon's Eye? Watcher? Schism?
What are you talking about? Locate a temple protected by a dragon?
Grimelda's expression told her that the witch knew of her fear.
What I ask is very important. Can you do that for an old lady, child?
What could she say? Deny her great aunt's dying wish? The relevance of that sobering thought hammered itself home.
You're not dying, Auntie Grim. Look at you. You are...
She didn't know how to express her alarm. Grimelda grabbed her wrist.
Shh. It's time you left. You mustn't witness the transfiguration spell.
Rika mouthed the word transfiguration in horror. She had no idea what it meant, but it sounded prophetic.
You'll wait until I return, won't you? Promise me you'll be here when I return.
The compassion in Grimelda's smile confirmed her fear.
Auntie Grim, I can't go on without you. You're all I have.
Her watery gaze darted around the cellar.
I know. Come with me. We'll find this dragon's eye together. We can...
Rika Windwalker!
Sounds like Ronald Weasley.
That's who I was channeling. I was channeling Maggie Smith.
Oh, she's awesome.
Send you an owl. Grimelda spoke with such conviction. Rika wasn't convinced the feeble old woman had said it all. A quick scan confirmed there was no one else in the flickering cavern.
Promise Grimelda that no matter what happens tonight, you will return with the dragon's eye.
Rika swallowed. Conscious of the tears falling from her cheeks, she nodded.
I promise.
Heed these words well, for they're the only thing standing between you and a long, lonely death.
Grimelda's features twisted into a hideous effigy of her wrinkled self, her voice taken on a manly timbre.
There'll come a time in the not-too-distant future that you'll be required.
That's awesome. Go. I'm sorry. Go.
It's not supposed to be so manly, but I kind of
No, I liked it though. Good change.
Yeah, there'll come a time in the not-too-distant future that you'll be required to accept your heritage if you want to survive. Pray, child, are you wise enough to open your heart? You are wise enough to open your heart. Let the truth guide you.
Rika swallowed. The crone's crazed words lost on her. All she wanted to do was pull away. Grimelda released her.
Now run. Get away from here. Whatever you do, don't look back. Not now, not ever. You hear, Grimelda?
Rika didn't think she could talk past a lump in her throat. She nodded, unsure what to do to save her great aunt. Grimelda's face transformed into a frightening mask. Her voice dropped lower than a woman's ought to.
Leave me.
Oh.
I'm getting scared here. Rika took the stone steps two at a time. Bolting across the shop, the magical locking mechanisms released the door opening on its own. Oh, and the door opened on its own. She stepped onto the porch, not bothering to close the door. Guilt at leaving the old woman to face death by herself weighed heavily on her. Whatever insane ritual Grimelda had planned, she should be there to help. She turned in time to witness the door slam shut with such force it blew her loose strands of hair around and fluttered her cloak. She grabbed the handle, but already the locks were clicking into place. The large bells above the temple door, the next door, rent the silent night. A clamor arose as parishioners descended the steep wooden staircase fronting the village's place of worship. Their attention directed her way. I'm too used to writing like a dwarf.
Yeah.
Pounding the stained glass door with the sides of her fist, she had no time to spare for them.
Auntie Grim, open the door. Open it up. Don't leave me.
Conscious of the commotion she was making, she didn't care. Let them think what they wanted. No one liked her anyway. The villagers' curiosity brought them together in front of Grimelda's clutch, watching her. Realizing she wasn't getting back in the shop, panic set in. She turned her wild eyes on the crowd.
Someone help me. Auntie Grim is dying. I need to save her, please.
You know, that was awesome, but we have to stop here.
Yeah.
I know I sent you longer than you needed.
Wow.
It's perfect. It was great. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I haven't had that much fun doing a reading in a very long time.
Yo, that's good.
I know Andy liked it because he usually, not usually, but he'll cut it short, and we just kept going. I kept looking at the time like, damn, Andy, all right. He loves Grimelda.
The way I do it is I try to find a place to stop that leaves a bit of tension, that leaves a little bit of question in the air. Like I wanted to stop when the door slammed shut behind her, but it wasn't like sufficiently tense enough. Like,
I got you.
The door slammed.
Yeah, you guys are doing audiobooks.
Yeah, we've been told that. I think it'd all be Andy. But anyway, Richard, where can people find you, man?
You can find me on Amazon. Most of my books are on Amazon. I'm not in Barnes & Nobles or anything else. I'm with Kindle Unlimited, so my ebooks are exclusive to Amazon. And then I sell signed copies out of my house. But my website is www.richardhstevens.com. And I guess that's basically it.
Awesome. Sounds good, man. Andy, well, we really appreciate you we really appreciate I can't I'll never get the ending right. That's just impossible. It's always random. Richard, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it very much, guys.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. Much needed for this day for me. And I love fight. So remember, everybody, fight for your damn dreams. Oh, I pulled back on that one.
Guys, make them happen.
Yeah. Andy, anything else before we end this lovely podcast?
So our guest for next week, next Thursday, said she won't be able to make it. So we're kicking around whether to get another guest or just to do a Stevie and Andy rule the world episode.
We should take recommendations.
Well, I've got some more script of Grimelda there, Andy. You can.
Done. Yeah.
Or just do the whole episode like Grimelda.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I was gonna say we could do one for the Silent Champions, but Silent Champions isn't out until the next week after that. So, but anyways, we will be back next
figure it
Thursday
out.
night, unless Stevie's Kobold Fuzz flares up again. In which case, we may or may not be back. But hopefully, we'll be back next Thursday. That's what you're actually going to the doctor for tomorrow, Stevie.
Oh, just right, guys. Before you go, Rika's Flight's out right now, and Rika's Gift, the sequel, will be out September 17th.
Woohoo!
I'm actually going to post the book links down below in the description. I haven't been doing it in a while, but I figured out how to do it. So they will be down in the book description. In the doobly-doo is what they call it. The doobly-doo. The doobly-doo. The doobly-doo. Kind of, that was a bad gesture I was doing. Okay, Richard, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I'm going to end the podcast now. Thank you guys so much for showing up. Yeah. We really appreciate everyone being here. 9 watchers for like the whole time. We were up at 10, 11 guys. That is freaking wonderful. I just, from the very beginning. I love you guys so much. Hold on to your gooch trolls. We love you all. We'll see you next week. Peace out.
Good night.
See you guys.
Peace. Are we still live?
Yeah, we're still live. I think.
Oh, peace.